The reason that you're stuck in a job that you hate right now is not because you're lazy, it's not because you're behind, and it's not because everyone else is better than you somehow. The reason that you're actually stuck is because the system has failed you. See, when I was in school, almost everyone that I knew was sold the idea of going to university. I never went, but pretty much everyone I went to school with ended up going to uni or college. Now the thing is that they pretty much forced it down our throats, but no one ever told us or helped us figure out what we want to do with our lives. They told us, get a 4-year degree, once you graduate, get a job, maybe after the job, then you'll figure out what you want to do. And the issue is that so many people reach their 40s, 50s, 60s with no idea still what they want to do with their life. And by that point, you've run into some issues because you own a house, you've got kids. You can't just get up and leave and explore and figure things out, So I feel like it's really important for people as young as us, in their 20s. Now's the time for you to explore and figure these things out. Unis and colleges sell us the idea that, once you get this degree, then you'll be better. All these hustle and 10x bros, they tell us to sell a course and make a bunch of money, and then once you make all the money, then you'll be happy. All these celebrities and influencers tell us to be authentic, but what does that really mean? No one actually helps us figure out what we want to do with our lives. That's what I'm trying to help teach people with this channel. So the question is, how do you figure out? Well, I think the only way you can figure out is by doing it yourself. See, when I was 20, I was miserable, I wasn't happy with where I was, so what I did is I packed my bags and I left. I just moved away. I moved to Australia. I lived in another country by myself for 2 years. After I lived in Australia, I moved to New Zealand. I travelled around there for a bit. I went to Thailand. I've lived in South Africa when I was younger. I travelled to all these different countries and experienced all these different places, cultures and people. And that slowly started to sharpen my tool of understanding of what I want to do with my life. I feel like the way to really escape that sense of dread and that sense of feeling stuck is through movement. You're not going to figure out what you want to do by laying in bed. You're not going to figure out what you want to do by scrolling on your phone or asking ChatGPT, what should I do with my life? You're not going to find the answer through your lecturer or through your parents. You're not going to find it through some hustle guru online. The only way that you're going to figure out what you want to do is by figuring out yourself. And the way I do that is through movement, as I said. You've got to move your body, you've got to move out of your environment, you've got to experience new environments, because when you stay in the same place, you're going to have the same thoughts. And if you have the same thoughts, you're going to continue to feeling that sense of feeling stuck and feeling that, I don't know what to do. Of course you don't know what to do, you haven't left that place. See, it was funny for me, every time it comes around to my birthday, I always get the sense of dread. I hate my birthday. The past couple of years I've really resented getting older. I don't know why, but I always get this sometimes feeling of just dread in myself. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago and I decided to act differently. Instead of sitting in my house or just doing something I would have normally done on my birthday, I decided to go climb a mountain. So I climbed Goat Fell. It took me about an hour and a half to get to the top and then an hour and a half back down again. I was really happy with myself with how well I climbed this mountain, but who climbs a mountain on their own on their birthday? That's something I would have never thought I would do, but it's something that I did anyway. And do you know what? I didn't think or have any feelings of dread whatsoever. It's so funny because the past couple of years, as I said, I'd be drinking, I'd be laughing, dance with my friends, which is fun, but I couldn't escape that sense of dread because I was standing still and I was in the same place I was the year before. But this time it was different because I was moving. I was actually climbing a mountain. I was focused on achieving a specific thing in front of me and I wanted to move out of my feelings, because that's a big part of what I believe. Most people think that you have to think yourself out of a depressive state or think yourself out of a low mood, or you have to think yourself out of feeling stuck. You have to research, you have to plan it all. But it's the opposite way around. For you to unstick yourself, you need to move out of it. You can't think out of it. For you to get away from these negative feelings that you might be feeling, you have to walk away from them physically. You have to actually get out of your bed and you have to walk and you have to leave your house. You have to explore the world. That's the only way that you're going to figure out what you want and how to remove all of these negative thoughts. See, even at the minute for me, I work in a supermarket. right? And it's not the most glamorous job, but I can fight the pain of the current mediocrity of working in a supermarket because I'm building towards something. I'm making videos, I'm pursuing more traveling adventures. I've got more plans to explore the world. All of these things. I'm building a decking. You can't really see it at the minute, but I've got all these plans and I've got all these things to keep my body moving. And that's what keeps me encouraged. When you stand still, your body stops and your brain freezes, and that's why you feel stuck. But I don't think you should do what I do. I think you should just figure out for yourself, stop waiting and start moving.